I guess something to identify is you literally killed their smokes. So like, I kind of feel like the site hit is kind of dead already. Maybe
That's true, yeah.
maybe that's something to quickly identify. Like, let's say you kill the Cypher, they're probably gonna still hit. So going tower probably makes sense. I'd be very surprised if they commit without the, well, they do. So I mean,
they're like, I got reach ult.
yeah, I guess in hindsight, he did ult from under. So maybe if we did get that kill and go under, we could have caught him. Yeah, like that could have been nice.
Just say.
He didn't bounce us around. Oh, nice.
Cosmetics done.
Yeah. A bit trash, isn't it? Good round
It's
for us,
actually
though.
terrible. I don't know why it's a non-cost ability. That ability sucks.
Yeah. Last time we did cover Silva Ascent, which is kind of perfect. Attack, we wanted to adjust our play and positioning to get more fights, so a lot of spacing stuff. I think that was related, if I recall, to a bit of darts on A and maybe that early B main thing. We were holding a bit back to do the tree dart or something like that. The neutral space, that's using util in the A main and B main potentially to stop dying, I think, because we didn't have Omen Blind, or maybe just taking the fire ourselves.
Yeah, there was a game we did not have Omen Blind, and it didn't happen super frequently, but like we were talking about Ascent attack, like sometimes like, you know, we just, like a duelist would just not win that opening engagement in the neutral areas, and then, you know, the hit's dead. And it didn't happen a ton, but it did happen like once or twice, and so that's something we talked about.
And then defense, use utility for self more, darting for self rather than cross map, and then lean towards fast rotate. Okay. So pretty clear, I think, pretty simple stuff here. Let's see how we're doing with that.
Yep, I think attack overall was a lot better. I did not play well in this VOD. I'm gonna giggle whiff a few times, but the ideas are there, you know?
For sure, for
Be
sure.
entering site and shit.
Silva's like immediate debuff. Okay, so early drone.
Yeah. It's just that
I do
easy.
see the full util buy. Just
Troops.
really Cypher stuff.
Yeah, that was just because I figured Cypher was gonna set up A, but I wanted to be sure.
We have a clear sight. Let's see how aggro we play. See your knife out getting close, which I quite like.
And then I throw.
Kill his ass.
Almost.
so-
I like the play though. I really like the play. Is there anything that you would change about it aside from not whiffing?
Kill his
I
ass.
generally no. I mean, like I should just kill this guy.
Okay, that's valid. That's valid. What do you think about using one of your darts here? Like maybe shocking for damage, or maybe darting to, I guess, zone some players? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I was down for that as well. I saw my Teo drone, so I was like, oh, I can just follow that.
Okay. Do you find yourself layering util on stuff like this, like often?
Like, yeah, generally I think so, yes. I think like I could, while I'm running up, I could like dart market it or something, or throw a shock that way for sure.
Sure. Okay. I think ultimately the play is fine. You're trying to get quick tempo.
I'm so
It almost worked out,
bad
right?
at this game.
Good play, I think. Let's
Yeah, no,
see.
shooting stand enemies who smokes his hard, dude.
Yeah,
I picked him twice.
Yeah, he wasn't scanned when I saw him at least. So while I was seeing his head.
Let's see this round. Oh, B. So the Teo trap. That stuff's so annoying.
Running your stairs.
He's close, he's close.
Okay.
Yeah, you can res-
Let's see. Yeah, Dark got some good
That wall,
scans
that
here.
wall,
Let me go back and watch this. We had to cancel because of that. That's fine. 2 people made it through.
Running your stairs.
He dies.
Yeah, you can res-
Early shock. What's the shock looking for? Just damage? Is it
The
true?
lane, guys.
Okay.
Yeah, damage. Since it's Teo's lane, and I think it does hit.
Come.
Do market.
Go. Okay. Should be all the side players. Nice. So I know we talked about this briefly in terms of routing. We're going lane here because you have spike. Is that right?
Spike and my omen's already giraffe.
Come. Valid.
Do market.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, one.
Oh wow, everyone died. Okay. Do this.
Market.
Market
Market
player,
TP.
spawn player.
Oh,
Okay.
one.
Market
One
TP.
enemy remaining.
Yeah, he kind of just wins. I noticed you immediately go
Market.
into drone here.
Market CT.
What do you think about that? Looking back at it.
Oh, one.
I think I should just be running upstairs. I think I default to drone here because typically, like, my entire team isn't dead at this point, and like we're a little bit more towards site, and I'm gonna be able to tag the market guy. I think I should be just running upstairs.
Do you think that this is a decision you could be making as you're planting, or like when should you come to that conclusion versus droning and then running upstairs instead?
Oh, I should have been. Yeah, it's something I could have decided while I was planning the bomb, since everything kind of happened in that span of time. That's just me not maybe getting off the autopilot a little bit.
Okay. I like that our spacing is a bit better, at least for the initial hit, which is nice. Just like to be the bomb planter on this map sometimes. So I like the draft out here.
Well, it's dead.
Let's play a bit quicker. Again, spacing is looking pretty nice. We're like right here.
What? Ow. Killer ass. Nice.
Yeah, good spacing. Really like that. Our B attack definitely looks a lot stronger just because of it. They're a little backside. Yeah. Plants. I have seen people starting to plant here. Like I played a Ascent game yesterday and this guy like planted here. I was like, huh, I wonder if that's better. Do you have a preference?
I've seen that plant before. I mean, it kind of depends. Like, do you expect somebody to come like late mid and actually be able to play for the spam? I guess. Like, or are we gonna have like B main space still? I think if you're like doing like a hard site hold, I like that plant more because it just you don't have to worry about like.
Yeah, they got diffusing like this. Yeah.
Yeah. It's much easier to work with. I like it. I've also seen like John QT plant like just alongside dice on the right side.
Like this?
Other side.
Oh, here.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
And it's like it's still spammable as well through
Right.
Dragon.
Yeah. Interesting. I can see
Honestly,
that.
it might even be an easier spam now that like.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Oh.
Maybe. That's interesting though. Cool.
Cypher CT.
Okay, so it looks like we're going into that drone. This is like our formula. What do you think about the drone here?
Yeah, I think it's far more appropriate here because I have two guys laying already. I'll get a scan on the guy's CT and then I can walk upstairs and like be able to ping pong that fight.
Okay. I noticed that you like to drone from here. Is that because of the box, like the height box here to scan market as well?
Yep, I can get over.
Okay. Do you think it's ever worth it to get closer to drone from here?
Yeah, I guess that's fine too. I mean, it'll accomplish the same thing. Maybe a little bit. I won't get the tag as quickly, but like if they are running out on my drone timing, I can very easily swing.
Okay, interesting. I do think that typically I'm more biased to be closer to anything, so that's kind of my initial thought. Like maybe if I get that tag there, I'd be canceling drone and just in the cage right now, which would be a little crazy. But oh, the guy actually just ran out while tagged. I'm down. Free kill. Yeah, I don't know where the clove is, but
One enemy remaining.
yeah, get the right
I
read.
thought my open was like about to let me.
Okay, very active so far.
It is anti-flood ult this time.
Same draft art. So I guess my question is like, when do you do the draft art and when do you save it? Or like, maybe that's not the right way to word it. I guess like, why are you using the draft art and what would the alternative be, I guess?
Yeah, I'm 100% prioritizing the draft dart more right now just because I know that I'm going to be closer and the spacing's going to be a little bit better. And it's going to scan, you know, that guy that's close is going to scan and if they cross to the corner. So that's mainly, you know, the thought process right now. I haven't really gone any further than that as I've tried to just be more active in general.
Well, I think that makes sense. I mean, I'm down. Fuck it, start draft.
I'm not on my to-do list.
Droney drone.
Oh,
Okay, so what caused the drone here compared to just being gun out compared to before?
I'm not on my to-do list.
Is it just maybe because our jet's not out already, or?
No scans and nobody's out yet, so it's very just like, okay, well, if we're gonna get through this smoke, we need something. So yeah, just drone.
It's a little bit, I wonder like where the disconnect is then, because we had a very similar situation on that A round where it was our first gun round and we darted and ran out instead of droning, but we are droning here. It's a little bit interesting.
I'm just silly, probably.
Well, there's probably like underlying reasoning, I guess. Like maybe it's like a little bomb site dependent. Like maybe you're more inclined to drone out B instead of gun out. I don't know. Do you think there's anything behind it?
There certainly could be. I think it all just comes down to like my positioning relative to the rest of my team's positioning. Because I think when I jump up here, I feel like I'm the furthest up. So I'm like, oh yeah, I have time to drone.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So
okay.
it's probably just that.
Makes a ton of sense, I
Oh,
think.
scare Molly.
Yep, I'm out.
Surprised you don't ult that guy. Do you recall why?
Yep, I'm out. I think I was worried about the rockets and then like just didn't even think about it, honestly.
Gone. Fair, it's fair. So here's my question. Let's talk about routing really quickly. So we saw Cypher spawn, and we don't know if anyone is site. That's true, but we don't have Spike here. So what do you think about the lane routing versus, I guess, the alternative of going like say this way?
Yeah, I think I should like route towards the right, or at least route towards switch since nobody's gone to switch, and like I can just go that routing. I'd have a better angle on this guy, honestly. I think this was just me not thinking about routing and defaulting to what I normally do.
Okay. How can we make it very intuitive to when to go lane versus when to go, say, I don't know. I like to just go this way. I don't even go switch, but like under market, I guess.
I think it'll just be a reps thing, and then like once it becomes part of my kit, it'll be much easier to actually just do it. And then yeah, you know, whether or not I have bomb is a decent like beginner indicator for that.
Okay, so maybe just to start with, we could say anytime you're going B on Ascent on attack, if you have bomb, go lane. If you don't have bomb, go under market, and then we can kind of just go from there and keep it very simple at first.
Yep, that's super simple.
Okay, let's write this down. Okay, so when going B bomb sites, if we don't have spike, we go under market routing. If we do have spike, we can go lane. Easy peasy. Okay, so we're doing this because of the little civil ults. We've seen this in the other one.
Nothing, Jun.
Nothing. He's sight.
What's left?
Way late play. Can't TP because of the suppress. That was so unfortunate for him. Okay, kill. Looks like you are routing right side here again, similar to the last Omen ult.
One more. Oh, you walled her out. I was about to own her with my drone.
Yeah, all
What
good.
would you do?
What was I gonna say here?
Wait, resonate?
Oh, the fights. Notice how like we're kind of trailing a lot of the time. I think this is probably our third or fourth fight this game where we start to spray and we're like, I guess tracking
One
them.
more.
Oh,
Yeah. I was. Yeah.
do you think this
Gunfights
is like a new
were
thing?
rough. Oh, it was a this game thing. I was probably tired at this point.
Gotcha.
One more.
So valid.
That's why we need to look at the fracture game because I have to own her with my drone.
Popping off
My
there.
fights are insane. Yeah,
Yeah.
my fights are great.
Okay. Duck dart. Yeah. Attack is looking a lot better, like you said. We're actually there with the hits, aside from the rounds where we're doing our several ults, obviously. But yeah. I wonder if we were at mid here.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We did talk about it last time. Good to see. This is a round-winning flank here. Round-winning. Oh shit. Okay.
Both of them, both.
One enemy remaining.
Just good. Nothing too crazy.
Team A.
Round-winning play, chat. Get the ult, wrap, easy peasy. Yeah, attack was good. I guess, was there anything else to maybe add from your point of view? Any takeaways?
I think that I was really focused on what we talked about last time, so I think I, got a lot of that down. Other than maybe the B routing, but other than that, I think I was very happy with how attack went and how I was playing. So I don't know if I have anything to add unless there's something you noticed.
No, I think that was good. Maybe we'll literally just say that. Was focused on last week's implementation, so we're looking good. Keep our attack looking like this, I guess. We're in a good spot for the game plan. Okay, let's take a look
Awesome.
at defense. This is what I'm curious on. How well are we fast rotating?
Um,
So we're not playing lane, which is always a good start
Oh,
to
yeah, I'm
not
sure there's
fast
a wall
rotate.
like that.
Early shock, fast rotate, looking good so far. Saving the dart for our own heaven flood.
Yep.
Dart from here, easy peasy.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, A-hold was good, but this is exactly the pacing we want. We just went off our A-holds. Go team go. Got the kill too. W. Very nice. Okay. Well, this is
I'm being
interesting.
motherfucker, like,
Fighting
dare you.
mid.
I fucking dare you.
I'm down. What's the thought process? You just want to fight?
Roll if you come deep.
Pretty much.
I'm down.
Like
Come on.
teams play this and how we play this. It's really cool.
I'm always down to fight.
I dialed 30 mid.
Fast rotate. Or...
What the fuck does his thing do that? But never mind.
It's such an odd round here. Like aggro B main wall with the aggro smoke. Very odd round.
Everything is very weird here.
Yeah.
One enemy.
The bullets. Okay. Good round though.
Right.
Acing was good.
Goofy. I know that guy's to the right too.
We didn't clear the corner. All good.
I will never clear it.
There. Fast rotate again. Same routing. Fast darts. Oh, we didn't even need to. They're not out. Nice. Start for the re-clear. Yeah.
No, the fucking smoke. Only smoke confused me.
This was fine. I did notice that we didn't drop down. What do you think about dropping down here?
Yeah, I could have done that too. I thought that like maybe since I have two guys already like up close and low, that like it's fine for me to have like that elevation difference. I could have been closer to like with the fights, but honestly, I thought we were just gonna chill for a little bit. I didn't think we'd run at them.
Sure. That makes sense. Okay. Definitely my raised brain right there. I was like, oh my god, we're pushing for more. I gotta be there.
Confused
I guess
me.
this is one of the downsides of not being part of the fight. Crosshair placement is tight. Expecting a jiggle, I guess.
Clean if I actually did
Did
it.
I not hit that shot?
Yeah, that's a hella wide swing from him.
A.
Get
Yeah.
the speed boots.
Ooh,
Oh
ooh, ooh, ooh.
shit. Oh, we lost this.
I don't remember if he loses this. I think he might win.
That's obvious cap.
I'm pretty sure she's low. She's terrible. It's okay.
Oh my god, like he fell off and back on. It's always so scary to me when that happens in this game.
Snuck it.
Right there. Oh, yeah. Good rotate timing though. Maybe could have dropped into sight, but that's like,
I'm going off my wall,
you know,
standing off the judge.
a bit more of a
I'm
nuance
gonna see if I
thing.
can walk bridge again. That would be good.
Oh, what are you doing here? Oh, mid aggro. So I noticed you're doing this thing where like you're darting one side, holding the other. What's the thought process behind that?
I mean, I just feel like I'm pressuring the one lane. I have my Teo market who's already looking top long, so he doesn't like. I don't also need to be holding that necessarily, and I feel like the tiles fight is gonna happen sooner.
Okay. What about the I guess the previous round where you darted tiles like top mid? Same idea. You had a cat player maybe.
More or less, yeah.
This angle's very hard. Back out. Yeah, we don't end up getting that fast rotate to B just because it looks like they're more defaulting. So we are kind of just
Yeah, they were
vibing
split
here.
somehow. Oh, kill
No,
it,
I'm
kill
dead.
it.
Really
Okay.
close me, man.
They're getting a lot of
I'm
info
done,
here
I'm
though.
done. I'm
Oh, it's so sad.
Really close me, man.
My drone's gonna
Do
I
this.
can-
What do you think about this fight?
I like this fight typically. I suck though currently in that specific
Okay.
instance.
Really close
So a
me.
fight we would go for in the future. Yeah, we're just a little bit off on the shots, which will happen. But it looks like our decision making and our routing is pretty on point. So I think overall I'm pretty happy with how the Ascent looks so far. We have probably a couple
Awesome.
more rounds.
Don't know if I can
Have a quick here. Oh, wow.
I know exactly where you are.
Oh my god, dude, there's just so much util. Wow. We get ulted, we run back forward, now we're getting missiled. This agent honestly has to go. And it's not even because it's strong and ranked, it's just like the design is just idiotic.
Oh, we're all dead. Yeah, there's a lot going on there. I honestly didn't even realize that I was in the rocket radius because of the skin, and it has
Yeah.
the little red icon like right over it. I was like, oh, I'm chilling.
Oh, I like this positioning here. I've seen people do that. More like Omen. Oh fuck, we died. Go peek.
I blame my Sage player that I'm queued with who was holding my top mid
Could be top, man.
And then
I don't know if I can see it.
and left the second I
Oh.
came over.
Yeah, that
it's
did
very
happen.
unlucky.
Yeah, all good.
And then we went out though, so it's fine.
Defense pacing was good. Fast rotate good. It's nice to see us not anchoring. Okay, let's take a look at. You said fade fracture. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
FF fade fracture. On defense. Went C's down. C's is nice on defense.
Oh yeah, I always have C's.
Very good ability. Have you had a chance to look at the one pro review I did for fade fracture from Asana? Like the.
Is that recent? I didn't
No.
know that existed.
That one's old. Well, I don't know how old, but the actual VOD that Asana played is old. I can give you the TLDR. He would early hunt, drop a ton, and then he would just flank.
Yeah,
was
that
his
is
thing.
something that I did like a ton, and then I changed from doing that recently because I felt like I was not active enough unless like they were like they always had a guy trying to take dish. So there's
Yeah.
been games where I would like that was good, but like I think in a larger span of games, it felt like it might not be as high impact.
Yeah, the way that I was trying to understand it was if you have like a good breach a main fight already, then there's not much reason for the fade to be there. Whereas like
Yeah,
if
that
you
does
don't
make
have a
sense.
good breach a main fight, maybe the fade should be there. And so,
Oh, man, I want
Oh, I
fucking
don't have a guy
crypto,
A
bro.
main. Doesn't matter.
okay, so deep
I
con.
mean,
That's a nice scan. You did mention literally off rip,
Oh, man,
you
I
don't
want-
have a
I
guy
want
A
fucking
I
main.
don't
Free
have a
trip
guy
kills.
A main.
What do you think about just saving the haunt?
Yeah, I mean, typically I like this a lot more if there's a guy A main, because then I will just open door and fight. Or if like I'm getting a like the A main smoke for that like enables the fight, I might have done it. But that eye is more or less something new that I'm workshopping.
Gotcha. Okay.
Where are you?
I mean,
Mark two. Get back.
2 more in
Very
mid.
nice. I like that we are fighting though. I'm just gonna talk about how Canes does this. But pretty much when he's standing door, he'll stand on this side. And then when he hears them cross around the orb, that's when he opens the door for this kill. And then now he can kind of move around. But he does this on ISO, he does it on Clove. He doesn't use util anytime he does it. It's just purely off of timing, and he plays this for gun skill. So instead of maybe standing in the middle, choosing one of the corners is typically how I've seen it convert a bit more. Yeah, I do like that we're staying and fighting though. It's good. Like we definitely could have got away with 2 there.
So now everybody's like, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yes, yeah.
All right, looking for info here.
Oh, retake.
Don't mind it.
Also, nothing arcade, I'm gonna rotate over.
Fast rotates. This is fine. Feels like there's some main players. Yeah,
They're leaving.
there's this guy too. Push, push.
I'm dead in 5.
Yeah, we don't flank there. Do you, I guess, recall why?
I figured the triple flank was a little much.
Okay.
But maybe not. I mean, I
Yeah.
felt like my clove was isolated. I was like, oh, I should probably
I'm dead.
get over there.
What do you think about it watching back?
I think either is fine. I think that, like, if they get past the B main smoke, I'm probably going to get fights sooner with this routing, unless they're kind of slow. Like, I don't know. I don't know if one is better than the other in this scenario.
Okay, valid.
Spike planted. Bring them down.
Oh, Prowler. What the fuck?
I don't know where that thing's going. Yeah, I guess you grab my clove.
Yeah.
I already seized it.
Good sees for slant though.
One enemy remaining.
Nice, good flight. Yeah. So far so good. Let's look at gun round.
Bring them down.
Okay, info again. Nada. That's
Yeah,
rotate.
dash, stop me.
No.
Get past my wall, it seems, before I throw it.
No beacon.
When I get back.
Nice sense.
I'll find you.
Oh, I fucked that up.
Wall, it seems.
Okay, this is interesting because I have seen this routing recently. Let's kind of just talk about them independently. So when we're rotating from B to A, you have 2 pathways here, obviously. When is it better to go tower? And when is it better to go site side, CT side, I guess?
If I can, like, if there's a possibility that there's like 1 to 2 people standstill, I like trying to get tower because I'll throw my eye above the door on that ledge.
Okay.
And typically, you know, that will convert at least 1 freebie. It's easier to throw it like farther to the right, like
Gotcha.
not necessarily that high because it's kind of hard with the angles, but
Yeah.
just that area, right?
Yeah, I got
So-
you.
Yes, yeah, exactly like that. And that's just like, that's very easy to get these kills out of tower, especially, you know, with the smoke there. And then I find it's just much more comfortable to retake from this area, obviously. It's less tight. So, I mean, that's my reasoning. I think that if I'm going to go main, maybe need like a bit more sand control so I'm not walking into like potentially like 2 different crosses.
Right. This angle. Yeah, okay. Something that you said stood out to me is like, this spot is better for retake. I agree with that. I like to go tower when it's clear that the ground is going to be devolving into a retake. And I like to go spawn to hold site if they aren't. Like, it's not a clear retake yet and like the hold is still active.
Yeah,
So
100% agree.
TLDR, flooding out of spawn is probably better than flooding out of heaven, but retaking from heaven is better than retaking from spawn.
Yeah.
And here, it's a pretty clear retake just because we're playing double drop.
Get past my wall, it seems.
So.
before I throw it.
Nice sense.
Yeah. Fortunately, the hunt doesn't hit. RIP pings. I'm surprised they molly it too.
Spike planted.
Close box.
Yeah, the guy's box. And I probably should have said something because I knew I didn't clear it. I
Yeah.
have 2 guys dish.
Yeah. 2 dish is tough. What about these fights site? Let's see.
I just get owned insta.
Yeah.
Outside.
Jiggles maybe. What do you think about jump spotting there?
Yeah, I definitely could have jump spotted.
Come. I think that's fair.
So better wall as well.
Bring them down.
Nada.
A couple retake.
So they got the A fight on hold at least. It's a downside, I guess, of playing this type of style though. Very slow. Like now we're just rotating compared to where we could be either rotating a bit quicker after the prowler like we were doing the earlier rounds. Yeah, I guess that's something to explore. Is I wonder then if that the point is, since we're so late anyways, we should just be pushing the space, like going underpass or even flanking through arcade completely. But this is more reminiscent of our old playstyle where we're playing a lot slower and not like what we just saw on Ascent where we're just like quick with the
Yeah, and I
rotate.
think I do make that adjustment later where
Okay.
I'm far more aggressive in the way I'm playing my defense. This was definitely a slower round though.
For sure. And it's okay to mix and match those, you know? Going back to the 80-20, it's like 20% of the rounds you're allowed to play a bit slower. So,
Brimstone's one. I did not know my wall was gonna do that.
oh wow. Actually, just aren't going
I don't have your arcade.
Yeah, I don't know why they're this slow.
because they're terrible. I'm down. They stunned and then aftershocked and then haunted all in different orders.
And they're still not out.
Yeah. Yeah, wow. it's good for us, I guess, but
So-
it makes it a little bit
Broke my
confusing.
wall, eh?
Well, A fake.
I
or
mean,
B
like, I
fake.
guess the intention was to fake, but they used so much util.
Yeah, it's like an unintentional fake almost. They just got
Yeah,
stalled.
I don't think it was intended.
Spike down A.
Yeah.
Outside main, I know exactly.
Wow, the probably didn't attach.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, I was
Bottom side.
confused by that as well.
Scan. Nice. Okay. I see the switch. Oh, nice. That's a nice way to fight
Nothing,
it.
man.
That's flank.
Bam.
Damn, this was good though. What do you think about the rounds? Like the push was good, I think. Yeah, what do you think? Let's go back.
I think I should get 2. I think I got I rushed to the second swing. I guess I wasn't expecting
Find you.
somebody to be that close. I thought that, you know, if there was going to be another guy, they would be on the angle I'm swinging.
Right.
So I got a little caught off guard here. I think I should get 2, but I like this. I like this a lot.
Okay. So definitely it's like the other side of the coin for the active playstyle. Reminds me a lot of the way you were playing Haven A long. Instead of playing that fast rotate, we're more so like darting early and pushing it. Very common formula for us.
Get the second.
But yeah, almost got the second. It was a good round though, right? Like we're getting very
Feels
active
better.
there. It's the opposite, like I said, of the fast rotate, which we haven't really done yet.
No, I'm not gonna
We're like consistently on an extremity, which to be fair is kind of how you play the fracture.
It feels like it'd be kind of troll because my clove is
Also
gotta be
doing
central.
it, yeah.
Yeah, if they want to smoke, they have to be.
Oh, look at
No, I'm
that.
not seeing
You got this guy turning.
Yeah, I think that's why I threw the
Good feeling. Nice.
4.
Okay, looks like we
Yeah,
immediately
like
give
all
up
of
the
them,
space.
I
Breach ult, I guess.
Yeah, I also don't think I'm gonna hold B main against 4 guys with breach util. Yeah.
Yeah.
no.
What do you think about getting that kill and like immediately going arcade to underpass or something?
4. Yeah, I could see that being good too.
It's like contain them as much as possible.
Yeah, I think that's also good. I wanted to route towers so that I could very easily seize the run out. That was my thought process, at least.
I think tower is good too. I guess something to identify is you literally killed their smokes. So like I kind of feel like the site hit is kind of dead already. Maybe
That's true, yeah.
maybe that's something to quickly identify. Like let's say you kill the cipher, they're probably gonna still hit. So going tower probably makes sense. I'd be very surprised if they commit without the. Well, they do. So I mean, fuck it.
They're like, I got breach ult.
Yeah, I guess in hindsight he did ult from under. So maybe if we did get that kill and go under, we could have caught him. Yeah, like that could have been nice.
Just say
Fuck. He didn't bounce us around. Oh, nice.
Cosmetics done.
Yeah.
Down B.
A bit trash, isn't it?
One enemy remaining.
Good round
It's
for us,
actually
though.
terrible. I don't know why it's a non-cost ability. That ability sucks.
Yeah.
Cosmetics on.
What do you think about getting the kill and then like going under? Like that's definitely not like we aren't using underpass push enough, I think.
Yeah, I need to get that into my playbook more. I do it later in like a later bit of a round, later in this half. But I only do it once, and it didn't get value that time. It's something that I need to do more. I think it's just like when I start getting reps on it, it'll become more intuitive to me.
For sure. For
Like-
sure. Yeah, we're pretty married to this tower position, which is it's easy for seizes, which I understand. Oh yeah.
Oh,
there we
it's
go.
this round.
It is this round.
Great dog, man.
Walk in the right side, come back in. Stay alive as long as you can. I'm coming as fast as possible. My clove is not, but
My eyes are closed
30
so slow.
seconds left.
Pretty good.
I'll find you.
So we actually used the haunt. That's interesting. What do you think you haunted?
12 left.
I mean, I just hoped I would get like a scan. Maybe there's somebody that's like trying to come out still. Maybe I catch that guy, and that's easy to kill.
Hmm.
Honestly, I'm just kind of using it because I have it up. I think.
Okay. The first question would be, do you think that they think you're a drop?
No, I don't think they would expect me to be drop on this timing necessarily. I'm pretty fast.
Okay. I guess it's easy to say maybe we should not give up our position and just look for the fight first.
I think so.
Okay.
Good.
I'll find you. Spike planted.
That is a nice haunt though. Like lands perfectly on that little thing.
Down.
Outside, bottom side.
Ooh, winnable. Good crosshair placement on this guy.
One enemy
Yeah,
remaining.
that was nice. Yeah, good shots. Definitely worked out in the end. Yeah, worked out in the end. Could have maybe pushed underpass after the breach kill. and maybe could have saved the haunt on the drop thing. But this map seems to play into our strengths, and I wonder if that's... You were winning Fracture a lot last act.
It was like 83%.
Yeah. Do you recall if this is how you were approaching your defense?
I'm far more aggressive on my defense now. Like before, I said I was playing a lot of drop, and you know, I would still typically like frag out, but I didn't think I would had as much like control over the enemy, I suppose.
Pretty good at defense half. I think it is a bit map specific with the way we're playing defense, in the sense that we are playing one of the extremities and playing for that info pretty much every single round. One of the things to note is currently we are also doing this alone, at least this game. In other, like, we weren't actually setting up any of our teammates to fight. We made a comment on it about pistol. We don't have an A main player, but specifically this game, I believe all 12 of the rounds, your starting position, you were alone, so you were relying on yourself to win those fights, which I think can be like a double-edged sword. You did mention that it was because we had 3A and we had a Sentinel A as well, but what do you think about, I guess, calling your deadlock to switch with you and then you being part of that A fight? Or do you think that you would get more impact playing alone and kind of being more self-reliant? Yeah, I guess where's your headspace with that?
So it was kind of a conscious decision to play like that because it's something I would never do normally. So I was trying to push myself out of my comfort zone by trusting it myself to like hold that space and fight in that way. And you know, like, yes, I think, you know, on average I should, you know, be like changing something about the way our defensive setup is 100%. I just felt confident that I would convert, you know, my fights in that way, and if I needed to, I would be able to fall back and play safe and stall.
Gotcha. Something that is worth noting, the way that we're playing the defense Fracture at least, is we only had a handful of rounds where we got that early info and quick rotated to the other bomb site. As the half kind of progressed, we would get that info and kind of like push, or we would try to get that info and kind of just like play our site. So I would be very interested in playing like a very fast-paced defense that mimicked our Sova Ascent a little bit more, where maybe you Prowler arcade or you haunt arcade, or maybe it's better to do it B main, because it might indicate that they're gonna hit the site more. I don't know, depending on the comps, I guess. But getting that info B and immediately rotating to A, or the inverse is true. Like maybe you start A main or you start drop and then you see nothing and you could immediately rotate. I wonder if that would be a better playbook to try for this upcoming week, I guess. Something to experiment with is to gather info ASAP and then immediately rotate. Flanking is good too. We found a lot of success doing this. So I guess you have two options: get the info and immediately flank, or rotate. So info, flank, or rotate immediately. Yeah, we'll see how that goes, I guess. I'm curious on it just because I do think our defense was a bit slow at times. And it worked out well for us, but maybe it could be a bit better. Let's take a look at T side.
That's a thicker dude.
4-1,
I think it's just around.
3-1, 3-2, Silly Prowler. Is this the normal, I guess, B main take? You Prowler for the box and then save Haunt for hit?
Yeah, very typical.
This guy got shit on.
Dead jet. Brimstone smoke.
Find you. No more.
Brim mollied arcade here.
Crazy that I'm the one that had to take that fight.
Yeah,
They should be open.
Okay,
We're mollied.
for main.
I'm just gonna play safe.
Down. Wow, double gen push.
Canteen.
Yep.
Nice. Good
Oops,
round.
wrong buttons. Standard round it looks like. Pretty good. Not too crazy.
Get out of my way. Bring them down. Where are you?
Breach side. Get grab one side. One side.
No target.
One side.
One enemy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a tower game this game. We should just win the 2v1. I don't really have anything to change for attack. Like it was working out. You know, your double duelists were like playing together really well, so we didn't actually need to set them up. Like they were playing off of the Phoenix util, so we were able to solo take tower while they were able to kind of, you know, do their own thing after the initial space was taken. Like they were going double sand, push spawn. They're going double arcade, push spawn. So this was definitely one of those games where everyone was doing their thing and it was working pretty well. And I guess in those cases when you can trust your duelists to kind of do whatever they're doing, you can be a bit more thorough on whatever you're doing to clear tower. But it is a little bit similar to what our defense looked like, where our teammates were doing their thing and we're doing our own thing, despite us starting at the same position. Like the fights we're taking are a bit different. Which not really on that drop round, but specifically for those B takes, because like you are almost always a lone tower. So yeah, it's just interesting. That pattern probably doesn't happen on other maps, just because naturally you're going to be with the teammate, unless you intentionally go to like A short for Haven, for example. But typically you will be with teammates. But it is something to note, like maybe in future Fracture games, if you find yourself struggling, it could be that we aren't utilizing your duelist as like bait opportunities, and they might be getting success, but we might not be getting success. Like maybe their tower hold is just better, and maybe you just don't have enough util for it or something. So yeah, it's interesting. I don't really have anything to necessarily change. I think it's just bringing awareness to the fact that what we were doing and what your teammates were doing, just in case like alternatives kind of pop up in the future, or like not alternatives, but like it stops working, so you have to look for an alternative in the future. But typically with games like this that are going to be like fairly one-sided, there's not really much reason to change. It's just, this is the thing that we were doing, this is potentially why it was working, and then you have to kind of have that awareness, because a lot of people fall into the trap of like, oh, I'm really good this game but not good this game, but the game state is just completely different. So
yeah, of course.
let me try to summarize some of that here though. Attack, we were starting with the team on the B hits, but would take tower solo. All our duelists would take spawn fights. When we went A, they also went sands pretty quick alone. So, and push spawn. The thing to note here is that everyone was doing well alone, so there wasn't much reason to change. If we start having difficulties clearing tower slash, oops, I don't know what I just clicked, slash space, we could pivot to go with the duelist instead. I'll put this as a separate point. Or we could assist our duelist more if they're the ones struggling. And ignore tower in this example. Yeah, like I said, nothing to change, just raise awareness to what we were doing this game. So defense, we were kind of just playing extremities, gathering info. And then on attack, we were kind of being with the team, but then splitting off to secure site space. There will be games where that doesn't work, and you need to identify it as quickly as possible so that you can adapt. Yeah, I don't really have much to add, I guess. I think it's just going to be a week of getting those games in and seeing if there's any new, I guess, problems that kind of attack us. But at this point in time, it seems like we're getting a lot more comfortable with the two sides of the coin. Like you have your playstyle, and then we have this fast rotate playstyle. And it seems like this week might be a week of trying to merge the two and identifying when we should be doing what based on the game.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, it was nice to see a game where we were playing fast rotate, because I believe this was the first time that we were able to see that, just because on the previous VODs, we were just picking VODs that just weren't having that fast rotate. So it's good to see it here. I do want to, I guess, highlight the idea that if you have a very simple game plan and you do that game plan every single game, at least for the majority of the rounds, it lets you focus on a lot of other things, like minimap awareness, spacing, maybe even communicating, or maybe more commonly for other people, it's just mechanics. So now that you kind of have the ideas of your game plans and just being able to kind of like, I guess, slot in your plays, hopefully it becomes a lot less of a mental stack drain. I would say mechanics, because we really haven't put much of an emphasis on mechanics previously. I think this week we could benefit from some extra time in mech training. You have a couple options here. So for warm-up, maybe I'll start with warm-up. You could extend your warm-up and make it a bit more official. So you have Valen's warm-up in-game if you prefer in-game warm-ups. You have the ramp routine if you prefer aim trainers. Some people do like physical warm-ups. I'm going to put parentheses 1 HP. He has like a 5-minute warm-up video. That's like wrist circles, like getting the blood flowing, all that stuff. That one's pretty good. And then there's like some people do like eye warm-ups where like there's like targets on the screen moving around. It doesn't really matter what you do here. I would say just choose the ones that stand out to you, but actually do one of them. Of course, if you have something else you'd rather do, I think that is also valid. And then in terms of mechanics training, there's a ton of ways you could do this. Some people prefer the deathmatch spam approach, where they play like 10 to 20 DMs a day. Some people prefer the aim training approach, where they play like 30 to 60 minutes of aim trainer, like ideally focused on a weakness. And then some people do like a mix, where it's like, you know, DMs, like maybe 2 to 5 DMs first, followed by aim trainers. Typically you do the DMs first, instead of the aim trainer, because you're trying to translate your Valorant aim into the aim trainer and not vice versa. At least that's what Minigod told me, weirdly enough. But yeah, those I would say are the options off the top of my head. But I think just putting a little bit of focus on this for this week, since your mental stack's a bit more free from the other stuff, could allow you to, I guess, become a bit more of a shooter. And it's always good to have that fallback. Alrighty, you take care, and yeah, we'll talk again soon.
Yeah, you as well, man. Thanks
Peace.
so much.